this is Steve Quinones, Sterling Home Mortgage Senior Mortgage Loan Officer, your loan Sherpa, taking you through the highs and lows of the mortgage and real estate market.
House, that was where we used to sleep. Our house, in the middle of our street. Our house, in the...
Today I have with me Carl Eisenberg of Square One Realty. He was really good. He got a really late email last night and he said, Steve, I got some clients that want to use the tax credit. How do I do it?
That's right.
So what we want to do for you today is get out a video so that people know that there is still time. Carl, one of the things that he asked me yesterday was, Steve, when do people have to commit, or is there enough time basically to go ahead and still get into this? And the answer is yes, actually there is. People have to have a contract fully accepted by April 30th of this year, not May 1st, April 30th. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is the contract has to fully fund by June 30th of the year. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time in there. Carl, I want to ask you, what's one of the biggest questions you're having, or what's some of the biggest frustrations you're seeing out there in the market as a realtor professional?
Oh, no problem. Well, in this particular market right now, we have a variety of frustrations, both for our sellers and for our buyers, and it depends on the situation. But generally speaking, when you're dealing with buyers, we have two different times, and every buyer wants to get a great deal in this market, okay? And getting a great deal, you see this wonderful price for the short sale home, and you go after it. But guess what? If the listing agent isn't prepared, hasn't done their due diligence, hasn't submitted the proper documentation to the lender, or maybe there's a second lender, who knows what's out there.
Hopefully there's not a second lender.
Well, they're there, and that's not insurmountable.
Right.
But the key is to make sure that you're working with, or my buyers are working with a qualified loan professional that can get the deal done, okay? And that we also take it to the next step and understand what has a listing agent done in preparation for accepting a contract. So those are the biggest issues that we need to address for our buyers.
Absolutely.
In terms of, well, what's the landscape?
Right.
What are the roadblocks? Somewhere on the screen you've got a link where they can ask, you've done some research on this,
Absolutely.
right? Okay.
There is, if you click on the link under the Realtor Corner section, there is definitely something to find out, am I qualified as a home buyer, or what are the qualifications, maybe I should say, to become a home buyer and use the tax credit. So check out the link under the Realtor's Corner. There is one for that. There's also another link through the IRS that talks about frequently asked questions, or FAQs. There's going to be a lot of questions that won't be addressed there as well. Now, what I want to do is over the next week or a couple days this week is go ahead and put those questions together. I'll make a call to the IRS and ask all the questions. One thing also that I'm seeing out there is there are a lot of people that are getting frustrated with the whole buying process as a buying agent. You go out there, if you get into a short sale situation that there could be issues because there might be a first and second. You might have a bank that's unwilling to do anything, and it's really frustrating. So one of the best things that we can do is there are a couple programs that are out there right now. There are regards to Home Path and Home Steps. There are two different programs, but there actually is hope at the end of the road. We can close a deal within 30 days. Again, I want to thank you so much for the questions. So one of the programs out there that can help close deals in 30 days or less is homepath.com. These are Fannie Mae owned real estate properties that are ready pretty much to move. And people are like, well, how can I find out if a home is a HomePath home or not? Well, what you do is you go into homepath.com, and then you can put in your city, state, county, zip code. If you have an MLS ID, you can put that in here. You can also search by minimum maximums on home prices, as well as maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, something like that. So for conversation's sake, I'm just going to put in 85379. I'm going to pull up, should be Surprise, Arizona, and it's going to give me a listing of all the homes that are available in that area. So here's a map, and it's just real brief, and again, I apologize for putting it on the screen here, but to give you at least an idea. So here's one right here. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, and it looks like it has been listed. Price is $85,000. It was just listed. There's no contracts on it, and it is HomePath financeable. Again, it's going to tell you in here pretty much everything you need to know about the property. What I would say is get with your realtor, take a look at a bunch of these different homes. Some of the advantages to having a home path loan is if you have a 660 FICO score or higher, the minimum down is 3%. The minimum down is 3%. There's no mortgage insurance and no appraisal required. Interest rates are typically a little bit higher. You might be anywhere between, I'd say, 5/8 and 1% higher than what you would have standard conventional FHA financing. However, even though the rate is higher, I'm noticing on a $150,000 purchase, remember with FHA, you would need 3.5% down. With HomePath, you only need 3% down, and there's no mortgage insurance and no appraisals. So what I'm seeing is you have basically 0.5% less to put down with HomePath. There's no mortgage insurance, no appraisal, so really the savings is out of pocket up front. Other than that, with HomePath financing, on a $150,000 purchase, you're probably looking at a payment about $30 higher per month than you would with FHA, but again, it's not as much down, no mortgage insurance, and no appraisal. So that's just something to keep in mind. Again, because these have been approved through Fannie Mae already, these properties, the transactions close very quickly. Now, if you're an investor, one of the neat caveats to this program is 10% down is the minimum down. Now, again, FICO, there are FICO requirement restrictions and some other restrictions that I can go over. So if you have any specific questions about that, we can talk about it. But even for investors, there's no mortgage insurance, no appraisal. So if you're an investor thinking of putting 20% down on one, you might be able to get two homes 10% down for both and double your investment. So that's one area that I would suggest looking at. One of the other caveats, or two caveats right now, HomePath is allowing a 3% or 3.5% seller concession, meaning that the seller or Fannie Mae would pay, you could ask for it in your contract, but they would pay up to 3.5% for sellers or for the buyer's closing costs, prepaids, and interest. Or you can use that money for appliances. So those are two just great things to know about. There is a limitation on time, so if you have any other questions on that, please feel free to give me a call. The other program that I'm seeing quite frequently is called Home Steps. Home Steps is another program. It's owned by Freddie Mac. Remember, HomePath was with Fannie Mae owned properties. Home Steps is Freddie Mac owned properties. Nice about Home Steps, 3.5% down. Nice thing about Home Steps is I can use any type of loan on this program. The rules and guidelines follow suit for whatever program we're working with. It could be FHA, it could be conventional. There is mortgage insurance, there is an appraisal required. So it's pretty much your standard financing, whatever financing that might be. But I do have lenders that will accept Home Steps. So if you are interested in a program and it says in the listing that there is Home Step, it is approved through Home Steps, please give me a call and I can help get your borrowers or a borrower pre-qualified for that. The search engine for this, if you're looking for homes, you can click on Find a Home here, and then you can do the same search much like you did through HomePath. All right, so those are just some different little caveats. Neat thing also is with Home Steps, they do offer 3.5% towards buyers' closing costs, prepaids, and interest items. The other aspect is they are paying for a 2-year warranty, home warranty that is. For details, check out homesteps.com and they can go more into that. One other caveat on HomePath. HomePath is not offered by every bank. I've gotten a number of calls recently where someone's been pre-approved through another bank and they don't have access to HomePath. Now, keep in mind, as a mortgage broker, I work with 50 banks. I have 2 banks that specifically will do HomePath financing. So keep that in mind. You might have been pre-qualified through a credit union or one of the big banks, but not everybody has the HomePath program in their portfolio. So please, if you need an LSR or you need to get pre-qualified and you know that you want to close quickly and you're going to listen to some of the advice being given here on today's presentation. Hope you enjoyed all this information. Hope you're able to take advantage of this tax credit that's out there. All right, hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.